Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Alright, so I am mixing light medium honey and medium tart shape tape to prime my eyes. I have started using a brush to get into the light medium honey because I was basically scraping the sides with the little applicator, applicator, and I couldn't get it all out because it wouldn't reach all the way to the bottom, and that stuff's expensive, so I don't want to put way too much on, but whatever, it is what it is. And of course, I'm using my beauty blender and spritzing that with some Fix Plus to thin it out a little bit, because you know that stuff can get a little thick sometimes, and especially if you put too much on. So, and because my other beauty blenders were dirty, I'm using the beauty blusher because it was the least dirtiest of all, and I didn't have time to clean them. But I used Dawn dish soap and whatever. So, and now I'm using Bare Minerals to set that. But, yeah, I didn't have a clean beauty blender, so I just had to use the beauty blusher. But now I have to clean them off. But, yeah, I'm just using the Bare Minerals, just the Miravel to set that. I feel like I have to set it, otherwise it's going to crease on me. It probably won't because it's tart shape tape, but, you know, it is what it is. And I'm going in with the Confidence in Your Glow by IT Cosmetics. The bronzer shade to put in my eyeshadow, or put into my crease for my eyeshadow, and I'm literally just going to fluff that in the crease, but because I do have hooded eyes, I'm going to put it a little bit above the crease. So as you'll see, there is no rhyme or reason really for it, just fluff it in there. And I don't know why, but for some reason I am holding my eye. I'm not really pulling it, I'm just holding it there. It's like Sherry Ward said in one of her last videos, if she puts her hand there, then things go smoothly, and I feel the same way. I don't understand it, but you know, whatever. By the way, if you're not following Sherry Ward, you definitely should. She has really great content, and yeah, I just love her. So definitely go check her out if you haven't already. Her channel will be linked in the cards above. So you look at the difference that made, and that's just a bronzer. However, if you do not have this palette, because I know that it's kind of pricey, about $30, something like that, then you can use this with any bronzer. You could do Hoola, probably Physicians Formula, those little that little bronzer that everybody loves. You can do this with pretty much any bronzer. I like doing it with this one because it's warm. And of course, right there, I'm showing you the difference of the difference it made with just fluffing a little bit of that in there. And using bronzer as eyeshadow was really easy to blend. Like, it's easier than an eyeshadow mostly, or basically because it's supposed to be a face powder, so it's supposed to blend easily. So if you're in a pinch and you need some eyeshadow quick, just throw on bronzer and you're set to go. Most bronzers, though, are neutral in tone, but this one's warm. I chose warm. You could choose a neutral glow, and there was a couple of options, but I chose the warm glow. So I really like this stuff. And at first, when I first bought it, I wasn't too crazy about it. I didn't know how to take it because I don't really like stuff that's mixed together, but I bought it because I was intrigued. And then I learned how to use it. I still don't really use it the way that they want you to, but you know, and now I'm using a smaller, more tapered brush to get it into the crease to add some more definition. But yeah, I bought that palette because I was intrigued by it and because it was supposed to be a one-step wonder and everything, and it is. It's definitely a one-step, but I still can't figure out how to use it the way they want. But I use it how I like it, and I've been ever since. The last time we went to go see my grandmother and stay overnight, that's the only product that I took to do my bronzer, blush, highlighter, and eyeshadow. So yeah, it's a really great product. I definitely recommend it, but only on sale because it is pricey. And as you can tell, I take a while doing this because I'm trying to figure out if they're both even in pigment because of the lighting. Sometimes you look at your eyes and you're like, why does one eye look darker than the other? Sherry Ward was also talking about that in one of her last videos, how sometimes it takes you 20 minutes to figure out if your eyes are even as far as color goes. It's kind of annoying, but whatever. On a typical day, this look doesn't take me but just a few minutes to do. But since I was filming it, and since I hadn't done this look in a long time because we've been going places where makeup wasn't necessary, so it took me a little bit longer because I got a swing of it. But when I do this every day and I'm used to it, I definitely can do this very quickly. And of course, taking that same color and putting it under the lash line to add a bit of definition, make it look like eyeliner, you know. And I'm not using eyeliner. That's the point of this whole typical summer makeup, if I was to do it. That's basically what I'm doing here. It's just typical summer makeup, typical everyday. Because all we did that day was just run errands. Coffee break. I feel like I'm all over the place with this voiceover. I'm sorry, y'all. Haven't done one of these in a while. And curling my lashes. I don't know what lash curler this is, but I'm sure any lash curler will work. I've had a few in my life. And now I'm using the Benefit Tinted Primer. Their Real Tinted Primer by Benefit. Y'all know I love this stuff, and I'm very sad that this is the last tube I have until one of the sales, so I'm just hoping I don't run out too quickly. But you don't have to use this. I just find that it makes a big difference in my lashes, but that's just me. If you have longer lashes or thicker lashes, then you don't have to do this. And I'm changing it up, y'all. I'm using the L'Oreal Voluminous, whatever it's called, the Voluminous Lash Paradise. Sorry about that. I saw that they put out a primer for it, so I wanted to go back to this and see how I felt about it and whatnot. And girl, look at that difference. That stuff I was kind of impressed with yesterday. I might start using it more. Kind of wish it came in brown, but if it does and you know it does, let me know because I haven't seen it yet. But they came out with a primer and I've been wanting to try it, so I decided to go back to the mascara and see how I felt about it. And it flaked a little bit yesterday, but I wonder if that was because it was so hot and sweaty and I did go to the gym, but it did do pretty good. And it's still pretty easy to remove, and that's another thing that I like about it. I don't like a mascara that takes 9,000 years to take off. And of course, priming my face with some MAC Fix Plus. I always do this. Sometimes if I have time and I want to be extra, I will use a couple of primers. It just depends. And of course, I'm just going to be spot concealing. This is on a typical day. This is what I do because I don't really need a whole lot of foundation. I'm just spot concealing my little problem areas and my lovely zits, as y'all can tell. They're just my favorite part. I just love them. And once again, spritzing my brush, or my beauty blender with some Fix Plus, and to thin that out because it can get thick. But I just like using this. I had gotten away from it and just using the CC cream and whatnot, and then I used this again after a while and realized that this was just a little bit easier. I don't really know why. I can't remember why it was easier because I haven't done it in a while, but it was easier. But I do love the CC cream. The CC cream is really good. It's not as thick as this is, so it might be better sometimes, but because I don't like using the Tarte Shape Tape when it gets colder outside because it is thicker, so therefore it's drier. It can look a little bit cakey. Not often, just, you know, sometimes. It depends on the weather. But CC cream usually always works for me. And there I'm just putting some powder on those zits and everything, but I do not set the under eyes because it does dry down matte, and just further blending that right there. And using the same bronzer and the brush to do bronzer, blush, and highlight now. And, but since that concealer does dry down matte, I usually just let it dry down matte because it didn't crease on me yesterday, but it might crease on you, so I mean, it didn't do it on me, but I find that when I set it down there and I don't have any other makeup on besides the bronzer or blush, it kind of looks weird, so I've quit doing that. And as you can tell, I usually start back towards my hairline on the bronzer and stuff like that, so it looks more natural. And as you can tell, it made a big difference right there, just adding that little bit. And technically with this brush, you're only supposed to do one sweep, and it's supposed to give you like the best look ever, but I haven't figured out how to do that yet. Because every time I do it, the blush and the bronzer are on the totally opposite side. I don't know, it's weird. And now, and before I swept the whole thing like you saw, and then now I'm using the bronzer, blush, and highlight all individually in their specific spots, as you can tell. And deepening it up right here. And I really like this stuff. I definitely recommend it. Of course, you can use any bronzer to do this. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be this. And you don't have to, or it doesn't have to be this product. I don't know where I was going with that. Sorry. And using the blush now, and I love this brush. It blends it out so well, because y'all know I did not, y'all saw that I did not put any powder on my face. I just put it on my chin where the pimples were, and it's blending very well. Like, it's not really leaving any harsh lines or anything like that. This brush, it's so fun, and the white hairs are just, it blends it beautifully. I love it. And now I'm going to do my brows off camera using the L'Oreal brow pencil and the Anastasia Beverly brow pencil, brow gel. It's Brow Stylist Diviner. I think it's worn off on my pencil, but using the MAC Fix Plus to blend everything else together. It's a great product. And the Chill Makeup Setting Spray by Urban Decay to set everything. And yeah, that's the finished product. Now I'm going to fan my face off a little bit. I don't have a fan, so I use a little flyer from one of my subscription boxes to do that. I'll usually throw them away because I always get more of it. Alright, and that is the finished product. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, please give it a big thumbs up, like, share, comment, and support, especially if you're new, because I do upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So come on back to my channel on those days for new content. And yeah, I guess I'll talk to you guys in my next one. Thank you so much for watching. I love y'all so much. Bye!